We are awaiting Mayor Henyard to arrive. We will give another 5 minutes.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard delayed the meeting with no explanation.
We're not your damn subjects. We are your bosses. We are the citizens of Doltan. And you will not continue to treat us like this because you are on the way out.
The Doltan supermayor, the drama surrounding Tiffany Henyard's downfall is nothing short of jaw-dropping. From being removed from the ballot in a historic caucus to facing mounting legal issues in the face of public outrage, her once lofty ambitions are now colliding with scandal after scandal. Could this be the end of her contentious career, or will she somehow claw her way back to power? Let's dive into the chaos. It all began with what Henyard probably believed would be a routine political maneuver securing her position on the ballot for re-election as the supervisor of Thornton Township. But in a startling change of events, her name was not even included. This was because she did not fulfill a crucial prerequisite, which is to gather a full slate of candidates, including a certified assessor. This technicality, along with the Democratic Party's decision to hold a caucus rather than a primary for the first time in decades, left Henyard in disarray. Illinois State Senator Napoleon Harris, who also serves as the Democratic committeeman for Thornton Township, was the driving force behind the caucus decision. The occasion was a spectacle, and Harris did more than merely supervise the procedure. He emerged victorious, winning the Democratic candidacy and essentially excluding Henyard. Tensions got high as supporters of Henyard battled with Harris's camp as hundreds of people lined up outside the Homewood Flossmoor Park District Auditorium in the bitter weather to cast their ballots. When the final decision was revealed, the crowd erupted, not in protest, but in celebration, and even sang her out of the room with a rendition of "Non-He-Hey Kissin' Goodbye," a taunting anthem that left Henyard visibly shaken. Napoleon snapped, storming out of the room as her supporters watched in shock.
What do you do tonight if you don't get the Democratic Party's nomination?
What do you mean? I will be victorious tonight. You will see. My people are here. They're not gonna go nowhere.
Henyard was unreserved in her criticism of the entire process, calling it a hoax and saying that it wasn't conducted properly. She vowed to sue all parties involved and alleged that the rules were rigged to prevent her from being on the ballot, citing the last-minute news that contender run for several positions for Henyard, who was also running for re-election as mayor of Doltan. This was a direct hit, but Harris and his team maintained that the procedure was fair, as it has been in many other townships throughout the state. Harris said, dismissing her charges without further explanation.
On how the Democratic caucus works right here in Thornton Township. You can also say that she flunked out because her name is not appearing on the ballot.
Henyard's image as the so-called super mayor has been severely damaged by the caucus loss. She has long bragged about her ability to balance several leadership responsibilities, but this setback weakens her authority and leaves her vulnerable in the one position she still holds, mayor of Doltan. Her time in office has been anything but easy, with scandals ranging from accusations of embezzlement of public funds to public conflicts with the village. Trustees, we hope to have a say in who the next chief is, said Trust Jason House, who is also running for mayor. If we don't think that person is a good fit, they won't be approved. Just this week, a judge decided that her hand-picked interim police chief, Ronnie Burge, Sr., must leave his position after only 30 days. The Doltan Police Department has been without a permanent chief for the majority of the year, and its trustees have publicly criticized Henyard's handling of the situation.
Tonight's regular scheduled Village Hall meeting turned into political antics where the opponents for Mayor Tiffany Henyard say they're counting the days.
Public opinion appears to be turning against Henyard. At a recent village board meeting, many residents stood with their backs to her as she spoke, but Henyard remained defiant, saying, "I am your mayor, whether you like it or not." She compared her future victory to a certain former president's contentious ascent to power, which gave her confidence. But it seems like frustrated residents' increasingly inappropriate remarks capture the mood of Doltan. Everyone, please cast your ballot as soon as possible. Render it too large to rig in order to get her out of there. What's even more unexpected is how Henyard appears to be stepping up her contentious choices. In a recent move that perplexed many local authorities, she proposed to return all residents' property taxes, which detractors have dubbed an urgent attempt to purchase votes. Trustee Brittany Norwood left the meeting where Henyard presented the idea, calling it a publicity stunt and financially reckless. While some residents welcomed the idea at first, others quickly pointed out that the village had a huge budget deficit, making the plan practically impossible to implement.
7 minutes, that's all it took for Tiffany Henyard to be out as the Democratic nominee for Thornton Township Supervisor, and she left here visibly upset.
Meanwhile, more and more former allies are turning against Henyard. Rumors of candid interviews and leaked documents are starting to spread. One former employee, who wished to remain anonymous, stated that Henyard's leadership style has alienated even her most devoted supporters, who initially believed in her agenda. However, it's all about her ego now. The source claimed that she is ready to take revenge if she feels threatened and that she doesn't listen to anyone. Similar to this, local trustees have publicly disagreed with her, accusing her of fostering a poisonous political atmosphere and putting her own reputation ahead of the community's needs.
Said for a while, it's like, grassroots. It was organic when a lot of this thing started at the township, where the people were, just showing their...
In addition to the chaos, Henyard's behavior during public gatherings has drawn more criticism. At a recent township meeting, she was late and clearly upset, accusing trustees of undermining her and calling them out by name. The atmosphere reportedly became so heated that a number of attendees left before the meeting was over, saying they felt. Her public outbursts and growing legal issues have only widened the gap between Henyard and the people she is meant to serve. One attendee expressed discomfort with the tone Henyard set, saying it's not leadership but theater, and she's more interested in the drama than the actual work.
Cannot let her get back into being a mayor, and we already know she's not gonna win that supervisor seat.
The controversy surrounding Henyard doesn't end with the caucus. During the past year, her administration has been beset by inquiries into her spending patterns and management style. It was reported that she and her entourage spent over $100,000 on public events, meals, and travel. One concert, which was barely attended, cost $100,000. $85,000. The Illinois Attorney General's office has warned her foundation to stop accepting donations until it conforms with state regulations, even after the FBI served subpoenas in April, after her namesake charity was shut down for not disclosing how it spent its funds. Henyard's spending reportedly went unchecked.
You didn't run none of this the right way. Illegal. Napoleon.
The trustees of Community Focus have accused Henyard of squandering government funds for personal purposes, such as first-class flights, upscale lodging, and even beauty services, while her opponents have described her leadership as more self-serving. She has also faced criticism for advertising herself in the community. Music videos and billboards with city workers, her actions were characterized by one trustee as a blot on our. Residents have also expressed their frustrations, with one calling her administration a tyranny. Power and wealth corrupt people. It doesn't help that Henyard is also accused of targeting her political rivals, according to one commenter, who said that the more authority, the more corruption. Her office has been accused by the Doltan Park District of denying permission for 2 grants totaling $600,000 for playground improvements without the necessary paperwork. Park District officials believe the citations and delays are politically motivated because they allowed Henyard's opponents to hold meetings on their property. "We don't play politics here," said Park District President Cleo Jones. "By issuing us these political citations, they're adding fuel to the fire of one of Henyard's closest allies. The grants could expire, forcing taxpayers to pay the bill." Louis Lacey, a former deputy police chief, was recently charged with bankruptcy fraud. According to federal prosecutors, Lacey underreported his income and disguised assets in order to avoid paying creditors. Although Lacey's attorney asserts that the indictment is a component of a broader strategy to establish a case against Henyard, the allegations simply serve to heighten the impression of corruption in her administration.
Thing to win, but let's do it properly and let the people really have a voice. The people's voice was taken.
In the midst of all this chaos, Henyard continues to insist that she is being unfairly singled out. In a recent Facebook video, she accused her detractors of spreading false information and alluded to a plot to bring her down. Why is Tiffany Henyard receiving so much attention? She asked, "What the hell are they doing that they don't want us to know about while they are distracting us over here?" But her justifications make no sense. Numerous locals are more worried about the village's financial issues. Lori Lightfoot, a former Chicago mayor who was appointed as a special investigator, disclosed earlier this year that Doltan's general fund balance had fallen from over $5 million in 2022 to a deficit of almost $4 million by 2024. Lightfoot's initial report also exposed dubious spending, including $43,000 spent in a single day on Amazon purchases.
It should have been a primary. It always has been in the history of Thornton Township. Always 10,000 residents come and vote for township government.
The show will focus on Henyard's dwindling options as her legal and political issues mount. She could run as a write-in candidate for Thornton Township supervisor, but that path is notoriously difficult, and with her approval rating declining, even her mayoral re-election isn't guaranteed. Some speculate that her allies are already planning their exit strategies, leaving her increasingly isolated. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below, and remember to like and subscribe for more updates on this developing drama. Go on, Henyard said defiantly following her caucus loss. But for how long do you think this is the end of Tiffany Henyard's political career, or will she find a way to stage a comeback? What does this say about the state of local politics in America?